If you've clicked on this video, you can only be here for one thing, and what is that, Ma?
How to cook beef chow mein.
Yeah, and this is how Chinese takeaways and takeouts will be doing it. Obviously, there are different variations, but this is just one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chinese takeaway cooking isn't the same as traditional, but it's still tasty nonetheless. And if that's the kind of thing you like, what do they need to do, Ma?
Subscribe, hit the like button.
Yeah, and comment too. But we'll get on with this recipe.
Don't go away, keep watching.
So right here, we have what, Ma?
Beef.
Yeah, what beef?
Topside beef.
Yeah. Most takeaways or takeouts are going to be using topside, silver side, or if you're American, I believe it's called top round. I'm not 100% sure. You can correct me on that later or in the comments below. But yeah, this is essentially what you're using. And sometimes they're going to be using a cut called pad, but typically it is topside. So what are we going to be doing with this then, Ma?
Slice them up.
Yeah, exactly. So off you go. We're not going to be prepping this whole thing today. We're just going to be prepping enough for a portion.
Yep.
So we're just going to cut this up a little bit. And you want to try and find
You see
the
grain,
grain.
yeah? You need to cut it down, okay?
So if you don't know what the grain is, you can see right there, that is the muscle fiber directions. Now, at the moment we're cutting with the grain. That's just to get our little chunks, and then we'll go across it. Because like wood, it's easier to split wood down the grain than it is to try and go across it. So it's just like chewing. So when your teeth come down, they can go straight through it rather than try and chew through a fiber. And then we're going to just slice this up into slices. Again, we're always using a 45-degree angle. This way, it just gives you like a longer cut rather than a short, stubby one. In terms of thickness, most takeaways are going to be doing it quite thin, but because we're cutting this for ourselves, we're going to make it fairly thick. The thinness does help in the velveting process though.
No one more?
You go on more.
Okay.
Never have too much, can you?
Yeah. You don't have to put them all in though.
True. I'm going to put them all in.
Yes, the more the better.
So when that's done, we're just going to place it into a bowl. So if you watch this quite often, you're going to know what we're going to be doing next, and that's a velveting. Now what velveting does, it's a marinade process that tenderizes meat using a chemical reaction of some sort, whether that's brining or in our case today, baking powder. No, bicarbonate of soda or baking soda to the people outside of the UK. So we've got probably roughly 350 grams of beef here.
Yeah, around that, yeah.
So to that, we're going to add probably about
Pinch of it.
a quarter, just under a quarter teaspoon of bicarb. Now, if you do this properly and you know what you're doing, you do not need to wash this off. Most of the chefs we see teaching people how to velvet put way too much bicarb on, so they have to wash it off. Now, lots of takeaways are doing that, but they're doing it because it's quicker and easier than actually figuring out weights and then making sure you don't use too much bicarb. Because at the end of the day, takeaway food is fast food. It's designed to be delicious, but it's still fast food. Because I know someone's going to ask, if you're using our recipe here, it's also found in our cookbook, which is available at www.jangs.com. No, you don't need to wash the seasoning off or the marinade off.
Salt.
Just a small pinch.
Hashtag MSG massive.
Yeah, always with the MSG.
Garlic powder.
Yeah, garlic powder. Normally we don't season this with light soy, we use a bit more bicarb. Bicarb, why do I keep saying bicarb? Salt and MSG, but lots of people have asked how we would use the combination of light and dark for this. So I'm going to show you today. So there's about 350 grams of beef here. To that I'm going to add probably about 2 teaspoons worth of light soy and probably about a teaspoon and a bit and a half really of dark soy. We're going to add probably about a teaspoon of what, Ma?
Potato starch.
Yeah.
Splash of oil.
Yeah, about 1.5 teaspoons. And then we're just going to mix this up. If you like us, you like the beef quite dark. So if we were going to do this ourselves, we would actually just use extra salt and MSG and make it really nice and dark with dark soy. But a lot of you said it's just a bit too dark for you. So that's absolutely fine. That's how you like it. And that's what cooking's about. So we're showing you that today. Just really want to make sure that bicarb's everywhere in here.
I think that's a little about right now.
So we're going to let that sit for about 20 minutes, overnight in the fridge for best results. But if you are going to put it in the fridge, make sure to put it in a plastic container and make it airtight.
Yeah, you don't want it to dry out.
No, not at all.
Yes, it's not a biltong, right?
It's not crispy beef recipe. So while we have you, we've got both our cookbooks here. They're two completely different things. The recipe lists are on the website, www.jangs.com. Also, you will find the ingredients list below in the description here, which we're going to start doing from now on. Methods will always be for Recipe Vault members. So we are reducing the price of the Recipe Vault quite a lot, just to say sorry that the ingredients lists are no longer part of that perk, and also it makes it a little bit more affordable for people who want the extra content and the extra bits and bobs as well. So it's a win-win for everyone there.
Yes.
And the Recipe Vault link is below. So we're going to start off with our veg day. So the bean sprouts in most takeaways are slightly different from what you get in the supermarkets. They're just thinner and longer, but they last pretty much the same amount. You're lucky if you get 2 days out of them if you open them up. There is a small trick you can do, and that's once you've opened the packet, just place them in some cold water and they should last a couple extra days. Just make sure it's airtight when you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're using the bean sprouts here. Then we're going to use an onion, aren't we?
Yeah.
We don't need the whole thing for this.
No, just chop off the end there.
The root.
Yeah.
Take off the top.
Half it.
Yeah. Peel it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to cut with the grain this time. And the reason why we cut with the grain is because you get long, straight edges to your onions. Whereas if you cut across, you can see you get a bumpy effect, which is fine. It's just about the aesthetics at the end of the day. So if you want that sort of like bumpy effect, then that's absolutely fine. It's just that if people are wondering why the onions in takeaways stay so straight, it's because these onions are really strong and they're making me cry. It's because if they stay so straight, it's because they've cut them along the grain rather than across. And also that bumpiness will be accentuated the more they're cooked. Right, we'll be right back.
The onion.
Strong. Spring onions, gibbons or scallions, however you want to call them. They're green onions. Some people call them green onions. We're going to be using these today. Most takeaways aren't adding the spring onions, but we just like them, so we're going to be adding them today. Actually, I'll do this because really affecting your eyes, isn't it? Yeah, 1, 2. No matter what I do, no matter what technique I've tried, onions will always make me cry.
Yeah. Some say open your mouth. I did.
They breathe through your mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I wear goggles, it still hurts. Or put a match on. I've tried everything. I know someone's going to try and give us some advice, but we've been doing this like combined probably about 70 years worth of cooking, literally. And
It still makes us cry.
well, not just that, we've tried every advice. Imagine all the chefs we've ever worked with giving us the same sort of advice, and it just sets us off. Anyway, and then we're just going to cut these into sort of strips. You can be rough with them. You can just half them if you want, but I like some difference in texture, so I go for different sizes quite often. And there you go. That's how we want them. So I know people can go, where's the ginger and where's the garlic? Well, most of the time, takeaways aren't adding ginger or garlic, mainly because a chow mein on its own actually tastes really good. Yeah, of course you can add these two and it will taste really tasty. But if you're trying to replicate Chinese takeaway food at home and you can never get it quite right, normally it's because you're adding too much. Like you're overcomplicating the dish. You're whacking in oyster sauce, 5 spice, garlic, ginger, when actually for Chinese takeaway food, it's very, very simple. Remember, fast food done quickly, that is tasty, not overly complicated. So that's why today we're not adding ginger or garlic. For traditional style cooking, probably would definitely use the what ma?
Garlic.
Yeah, and sometimes ginger, depending on what mood we're in.
Yes.
Using both all the time just means that your palate stays really stale. Like if you always overload it, you never really give it a chance to learn and taste different things. So like I can have a bowl of plain noodles and I still find it just as tasty as one with oyster sauce, garlic and ginger in. It's just different. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
yeah.
That's right.
So that's that. Right, so first we're going to need some veg oil. We need quite a bit for this, and we want this to get really hot. So the induction cooker we're using today is hot. Is on the hottest setting is what I meant, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Normally in a takeaway, we won't be doing it the way we're doing it today. It's just this way you can...
Another way of doing it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a way to make sure your beef doesn't steam in with your noodles at the same time, which can make your noodles go clumpy. If you're good with the wok and you know how to move fast and you're good with temperature at high heat, it's not an issue. You don't need to do this. We do get a lot of people who say they don't like to use the extreme high heat, which is fine. It's just this way you can keep your beef charred without it steaming itself because of all the other ingredients that goes in. So when this oil is hot, we're going to throw in our beef, which is hot, you can tell. Put it in and then just let it sit for about 20 seconds. And we're just trying to brown it, essentially like a steak.
Yeah, whoa.
Now we're going to move it a little bit with our paddle and then you flip it.
Right, you can see that colouring now.
Yeah. Part of the reason why we also flip is because it's quicker than stirring. And again, if you constantly stir, or you stir instead of flipping, it can cause your ingredients to steam as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty much done. So when your beef is nice and brown, we're going to take it out. Now using the same oil, we're going to let that heat up. Again, still on as hot as you can. Again, still on as hot as you can. And when that oil is hot, I'm going to press in our onions.
Let it brown a bit.
Yeah. But on top, we're going to add a little bit of salt and a pinch of MSG. And you want to add that on top of the ingredients because if you add it straight to the pan, it does what, Ma?
Burn.
It burn. Well, it doesn't burn, it like crystallizes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And then when these start to brown, we're going to add our noodles in. If you want to know what noodles and brands that the takeaways use, comment below and we'll let you know. But all we did to prep these was put them in some boiling water for 4 minutes. We then strained them, rinsed them under cold water and then let them sit for 20 minutes to get all that moisture out because you want these to be pretty dry. Otherwise they overcook in the pan and then they go stodgy. But anyway, so we've just placed the noodles in. Gonna add a pinch more salt. Pinches every time, not much. Season little and often, not all at once. Again, some MSG. And we're allowing those noodles to sit. And why is that, Ma?
To get char.
Yeah, to get that wok flavour. You let them sit for about 15-20 seconds and you turn them. And then you can see that lovely browning on there. That's that rich, smoky flavour you get. So do that about 3 or 4 times. And then we're going to add in some light soy sauce.
Yeah.
Dark, which is for colour. Salt, light is for salt and soy flavour. Dark is for colour.
Now you can see your noodles turning brown.
Yeah, nice. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cook this off until the liquid in the soy sauce has gone, because then that allows the sugars in the soy sauce to caramelise and it gives you a nice, real rich flavour. When you can start to see like the browning on the outside of the noodles again after the soy, that's when we're going to go with our bean sprouts. And bean sprouts last because then you don't darken them up with the soy and they still stay crunchy and cooked. If you put bean sprouts in first, they wilt and they don't stay as vibrant. And along with the bean sprouts,
Spring onion.
our spring onions, yeah. And then our beef.
And the beef.
So you can see how our noodles and ingredients have all combined. They haven't mixed away or mixed out or whatever. And that's because we haven't overcooked the noodles and we've made sure that all that excess starch was taken out when we rinsed them underneath the tap. Okay, and that's done and ready to dish out.
Yes. Beer chow man.
And there
Yum.
it is. Really looking forward to this.
Yep.
Obviously, we want some chilli first.
Yeah, chili.
All over that.
Look at that. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. Bit of heat.
There we go. That's on the beef first. See, that's quite chunky, right?
Yes.
Normally, top side is going to be, if you don't velvet it, it's going to be tough.
Look at that. Hey.
Sorry. Like butter. Oh, not butter, that's over exaggeration. But you know what I
Piece
mean.
of steak. Mini steak.
Honestly, simple is so much better.
Yeah. That tiny bit of biker just do the job.
Yeah, you don't need lots.
Perfect. Perfect.
There is a fine line though, because if you don't use enough, it will be tough.
Yeah. Just got the right amount and just send you to heaven.
Send you to heaven.
Wow. You know what I mean? Heaven.
Beef chow mein for us is our
Yeah.
go-to, really.
Yeah.
Or beef hor fun, which is very similar. It's just
Yes.
with rice noodles instead of the egg noodles.
It's awesome, this is. Just give it a go, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
comments and let us know how's your come out, yeah? Ah, I got too much now. Ooh, look at that noodle. Wow.
If you want like a sesame oil flavour, add it at the end, garnish it over the top. Don't cook with it. In fact, someone the other day was saying they basically cooked a meal and it was making them feel sick and they couldn't figure out why. We got down to the fact that it's because they've been cooking all their Chinese food at home in sesame oil and it's just too heavy. It's a massively heavy flavour. We said, don't use the sesame oil, just use normal veg oil and just come back to us and see what's happened. They come back and said, not only does it taste like the takeaway now, they're no longer feeling sick from it. So just because you think Chinese takeaways and Chinese traditional food is cooking with it, it's not. It's a garnish. Or you can use it in a marinade, so...
Should we do a video about how to use sesame oil?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Comment
Comment
if you'd like to
see that. Yeah? Really good.
Thank you everyone for supporting, liking, commenting. It just all helps. Make sure you hit the notification button to keep our videos up on your feed or get notified when we get a new one out. But we really appreciate all of you, every single one of you who takes the time to watch our videos. Cannot thank you enough. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, Ma?
Yeah, you are awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you
Yeah.
for your support.
You know when you put your thumbs up, you always cover your face?
Oh, do I?
Yeah. Anyway.
We'll sign up for now.
Yeah. Ma?
Happy cooking, happy eating.
Take care until next
See you
week.
next time.
Bye.
Bye.